Good day, dear viewers and listeners. I'm here today on video call with Tomislava Pribanić. She is Associate Director of Ethics, Risk and Compliance of R&D CERTSE cluster at Novartis. We are happy to have Tomislava. Actually, she's going to be one of the keynote speakers at BCEC Compliance and Ethics Conference October 9 to 10. And she has over 15 years of experience in pharmaceutical industry. She holds variety of roles, and she now cultivates, as she says in her own words, a deep passion for ethics, risk, and compliance. But also her enthusiasm extends to constant learning, diversity, inclusion, organizational development, and human resources, which I may add, this is highly important for any effective compliance manager. She's also excited about changing, and I think she has very interesting insights into how to successfully introduce change and thrive through it, even based on business partnering. And we're going to break or unwrap this a little bit with her in this interview today. So she also likes to share knowledge, for which we are highly grateful, and look for ways to inspire those around her. So Tomislava, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Great. So please tell us something that is not part of your official bio that you can share and would be interesting for the viewers.
Okay. So I'll start with something private. So outside of work, I love hiking. I just love being in the woods and on the mountains. And last year, me and my friends, we hiked 54 kilometers in a single day. It was a very long day.
Oh,
to be honest.
Extreme. That's extreme. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, but hiking it calms my mind. It taught me that reaching the goal is about, pacing myself, taking breaks. We took a lot of small breaks, we had a person picking the right path. It was not me, to be honest. I was not so experienced, but, he was like very diligent in, picking the right path and not giving up, because I really wanted to give up. At one point I was like, I'm done. I'm just going to call somebody to come pick me up, But we were, like, no, we have to do that. So I adjusted. I actually took off my hiking boots and I was walking barefoot for a certain period of time, So I could compare that to business compliance.
Yeah, for sure.
Very much, at that point I was like, I could copy paste that into my work, pick the right path, take your breaks, and do not give up. That's it. So yeah, but I think one of the most important things which I learned from this, and I also take that into business with me, it's very important that you have the right people with you on the path.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that you have a lot of these kind of candid stories, so I'm looking forward to talk even more. But we don't want to disclose too much, right?
Yeah.
Before we talk about what's going to be the highlight of your session in Blitz, I would like to ask you also. For sure you had so many roles. You've been in the business for a while. You know what compliance and ethics job is. I mean, you're comparing it to over 50 kilometers of hiking in a single day, and we know it is sometimes it gets like that, and sometimes also it's a marathon. So I wonder what drives you in this work.
Okay, so the driving factor for me is, I have to really admit I shamelessly love ethics and compliance, and I love my job. So that kind of drives me the most. But within the job, it's the learning, because in our profession and in the job which we are working, it's impossible to be a good compliance officer or manager or whatever the role is called if you do not learn. You have to learn about the people you work in, about the business, so we are supporting various business in our various roles, and whenever we change something, we're learning. And this is what kind of is my driver, and I love to learn, But also the industry which I'm working with, it's about building trust. We have patients, we have partners, we have the society. And, I know that the work I do helps ensure that medicine reach people in a responsible way. That's a huge motivator when you're working in pharmaceutical industry.
So you must be a very responsible person and very aware of the world around you, for you to have that as a driver. And I think it's a beautiful thing when you love what you do. So I love the people who love to work in compliance. Thank you. And about your session now. So you are going to talk obviously about your journey, you're going to share experiences. And I think from the first call that we had over phone, we were talking about your potential session. I remember, and I felt this excitement from you and your passion for compliance. So I really appreciate you reaching out. And I remembered you telling me already then about business partnership and how this was a game changer for you. But also, I was really impressed by the way that you approach building partnerships. So without disclosing like too much or everything, can you just break down a little bit? What is it about the business partnership in your perception?
Okay, so in the session which you will guys see, in October, we will talk a lot about like practical insights, and business partnering is getting under their skin. The point of our role is to advise and to support. But if we need to do that, we also need to understand the business. Mm-hmm. And buying somehow, in a way, our seat at the table is through business partnering. They have to understand that we care, that that we want to understand, that we are also working at the same company, we are on the same side. Our role is to be a trusted advisor and not a rule keeper. We are not somebody who's just going to say yes or no. We have to enable the right yes. And how business partnering kind of comes into that is, they need to like you, not only tolerate you. They need you also need to understand them and their perspective. So in order for us to do that, and I will give you like a small example, I'm working in a pharmaceutical company and I actually finished economy and management, so I didn't have a clue what they were talking about when I just joined. What I actually did is I had my laptop open and I Googled, during meetings, like I Googled a lot of stuff, which I didn't understand what they're talking about even, But then there's like tips and tricks, it's sometimes you have to say no, then they hate you for a few days, then you're trying to get back on their good side, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's various tips and tricks how to make them like you. And one of the biggest is curiosity. You have to be curious.
Can you share an example when you showed curiosity and you showed them that you understand them and that you care for the same objectives and results as they do?
Yes. So there was, our business is actually focused on sales, so whatever we think about it, we sell medicine, and we have people on the first line who are actually doing the business, and I was getting a lot of feedback, you don't understand how it is. You have to be there, there's like various doctors, they're pushing back, they're saying, I want this, I want that, So what I actually did is I said, okay, let's go, take me with you. So for a certain period of time, I actually went on the field with them, and I didn't participate. I'm not, trained to do the sales or anything. But I was like, I was the person behind, just looking at it, saying, trying to understand how hard it is, and the other point, listening to them, so being with them in that car, going from, one doctor to another, waiting with them in waiting room, somebody to just say, you can now come in or anything, and connecting with them, it meant really a lot, and it started to shift our relationship into, she actually wants to understand, because why would she then, spend like 10 hours with me in a car and, with doctors and just listening. So.
Oh, amazing. That's a wonderful example. And I don't know anybody else that would do that. I mean, I'm sure there are many compliance officers, but I just never heard. And this is even another example. I think over the phone you shared a different one. So I cannot wait for you, for us, for everybody to hear even more of these really candid and beautiful anecdotes. Good. So before we wrap up, please just enlighten us. What is like specifically currently exciting you at your work? What are you up to in your compliance job at Novartis?
So currently there's like two really exciting projects. One, it's about data, and data insights. In compliance, we have a lot of data, so one of the examples is just the training. So how many people did the training, what was the feedback, and was it overdue and stuff like that. Then it's like various conflict of interests, which we, very much see like every day, which were reported, how they were handled, where are the biggest numbers and stuff like that. So we have a lot of data, but it's currently raw, and putting that into something which could be readable by the business, and then having actionable insights from them to help them like make, smarter, safer decisions. So it's not so much about the numbers. It's like our ticket into being proactive, strategic, giving like added value beyond our traditional compliance roles, not saying like you did something wrong, but more into like, I see this and how can we maybe prevent this happening, or what can we do as an action prior to something happening. So yeah, that's one which I'm kind of a little bit playing with, various reportings and deep dives and stuff like that. And a few months back, I'm focusing a lot about risks. And currently, what are the top risks within our R&D organization, and actually testing them through the activities, so going through various activities, monitoring them, testing if everything is fine, if there's something missing, and then again, that's a set of data which we again put into some actions, some plans, how are we going to strategically move the needle that it doesn't happen, or where are we good at actually, so
yes, so important. Yes, so important. Tell us something good. Don't tell us just what's threatening. Tell us something good. So yeah, that's good also to stress about risks. Great. I cannot say anything else than looking very much forward to meet you also face to face and listen to your session in Blip. And Tomislava is on LinkedIn, so please connect with her and track what an amazing work she's doing and putting out there in the world. Thank you so much, Tomislava.
Thank you. I'm also looking forward to our blood sessions very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.